Well, hello guys, and welcome. I'm here at EGX, as you probably know already, and I'm joined today by James, CA Dugbert, and Jan, CA Thamis. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're here to talk about Arena today. So you probably know as well, there's been a massive update to the game yesterday with the closed beta coming out, and there's been some pretty nice improvements. I had to go of it last night. It's working very nicely, it's flowing well.
I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, no, it's good. So I'm here to talk with these guys today, get a bit more information about it. I know you guys have been asking me in the comments of my EGX video about some questions you want to ask us, so here we go. So first one is in terms of, obviously it's on the PC at the moment. A lot of people ask me, is it going to be available on Mac and Linux at any point, do you think? Is that something that could happen? A few people have asked me that already.
Never say never.
Yeah.
But at the moment, we are not planning on porting it over. It's a lot of work to port a game to Mac or Linux, and we're definitely going to focus on the PC first. And who knows? In the future, maybe.
Yeah.
But for the near future, no.
PC. Okay, that's fine. Like, it could be an option in the future then. That's cool. And with regards to what the big change that comes through, obviously in the beta patch, we've got obviously the fact that you've got Rubicon now, Barbarians, Armenia, some fantastic improvements there. I love the infiltration ability, because last night I literally destroyed a unit of archers with that. It's a fantastic ability. But you've revamped a lot of the consumables, haven't you, skills. What was the reasoning for that? What made you sort of, cause it literally like you've gone sort of, in a way, started again with someone, haven't you? What you've done.
Well, the thing with the consumables is that they were put in a long time ago.
Yeah.
Kind of almost as a placeholder or as like a proof of concept.
Right.
Basically the way we work is we look at individual game areas and we kind of circle around and try coming back to them. And so we've looked at, you know, collision, we've looked at commander abilities, we've looked at unit balancing, and this time it was just time for the consumables, really. We felt that some of them were definitely overpowered, others were never being used. Our statistics showed that they were essentially totally unattractive.
Right, okay.
So yeah, one of our designers, Dave, he went in and really looked in depth at all the consumables and came up with a concept of how each faction could have a different set of consumables to make the factions feel more unique and different as well. That's really what we wanted to go for. And we really have this vision of each faction having a very different playstyle that we until now haven't quite achieved yet, but now with the Barbarians really, and that rebalancing of also the commander abilities, I think we've gotten a lot closer to where we want to be with
because you put in with Scipio now, you've got the Wrath of Mars, haven't you, which is a new ability there.
You like that one, don't you?
I did, she came up with a name.
Yeah, Wrath of Mars. Yeah. Because that's the thing, isn't it? I suppose, you do feel now you can have that different feel to each type of commander. I mean, when I was playing the Barbarian, it did really feel a completely different playthrough for me than it was when I was playing with Germanicus, who I usually play with, so it's good to have that variation. And as well, the Vanguard system you put in, or the Vanguard feature.
Forging, yes.
Yeah, so would that be eventually available to everyone? Have you got to just pre-order that, and that's all, where you pre-order it, but you had to, is it be part of it a year ago, was that right? Works,
yeah, we had this website like 2 years ago actually, I think. Where after we first announced Arena, you could enter your email address to become part of the Vanguard group, where you would get first access and additionally something in game. So that something now is the Alpha, the helmet, and the Vanguard, the shield. We haven't sent out Vanguard keys yet. We're going to send them out in the very near future to those players who've signed up. And then there's also the Humble Shield, which you can get with the Humble Bundle on sale now.
It is. Check it out, guys.
And there's going to be more to come. I mean, essentially it's cosmetic items, right? So we definitely intend to have more in there. Some to be bought for real money, some to be unlocked in some way, and more special events, that kind of stuff.
Sure, because you got 3 levels, haven't you, to the shields and the helmets. You've got like a lower tier, medium tier, and a higher tier.
For the Vanguard stuff, yes, they come tiered and they just look cooler the further you go. Whereas the Humble Shield, I believe, is the same across.
That's it, fantastic. As well, I noticed obviously with the Germania map, mostly out of all of them, you've really concentrated on the fortifications, haven't you, the settlements. You know, they really have got those sort of openings now where you can defend and put units there to really hold the base from being captured. And especially now you've revamped the reward system, the fact that you do get actual points for defending. So is that maybe down the line an option where you could think, well, we could bring in a different game mode of actually having Team A attacking, Team B defending, and literally having like a siege sort of game mode in a way? Could that be something you could bring out possibly?
So obviously we're spending most of our time right now just focusing on the one game mode we have,
sure,
and everything that comes to that. But in the future, you know, we will have another game mode. What that's going to be, we haven't decided. But yes, a lot of people are asking for Siege, so
it would be fantastic. You know, when you think of it, it would be an epic sort of feel to it.
It's all about how we balance that. It's definitely what the community seems to be asking.
I think if we get that right, that could be really awesome.
It could be
sure.
Absolutely fantastic, because I find that, you know, when you see on in the community, a lot of people love the siege warfare. I don't know if Medieval 2, for example, things like that. So I think that element would be very popular indeed. And with regards to the tier 10s, you know, you get to tier 10 and you've got to your ultimate level on the commanders. Are you ever thinking about maybe bringing out sort of maybe a prestige system or something that's going to be there to say, right, okay, you've got to tier 10, but we want to give you more appetite to carry on with this commander?
So yes, definitely. Yeah. So there are various different things that we're looking at. One option is to actually continue the trees after tier 10.
Great.
Right?
Yeah.
So maybe out of the Romans could come the Byzantine Empire, which you could also unlock from the Greeks, or something like that.
Good.
Yeah. Or we could have some sort of clan metagame, endgame thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Or we could have, like you said, a prestige system. That's actually one thing that we have a little mini design lying around for as well.
Right.
The thing is though that we have a lot of ideas that we've kind of written out the basic designs. But at the moment, what we're really doing is we're looking at all the options. We're also reading a lot on the forums. That's you guys. To see what do people want, you know, what is it that would inspire people, what would motivate them to get to tier 10 and then continue. So we don't want to just impose, we really want to listen to what people are saying and react to that.
That's it. I mean, as you say, you're now offering so much variation between commanders, and it's all about playing to your strengths in arena, what you can be great at doing. So yeah, if you can sort of add something extra, that's even better to enhance it. Yeah, so yeah, sounds interesting to see what that comes out. But as well, obviously, I mean, I remember when I first played it back in November.
You were one of the first.
Last year.
I was talking about that.
Yeah, this guy, he was one of the first.
Absolutely, and it was just, I was saying the difference in the game now between then and now, and that's obviously from you guys listening to the forums, taking feedback and enhancing it and things like that. So it does seem to be going at a really nice pace, and I'm really excited to see what's going to come next.
For the record,
yes,
at this event you were talking about.
Oh yes.
The guys got to play against the developers.
Oh yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Yeah.
How'd that go?
It didn't go nicely.
Really? What happened?
I got wrecked. I got wrecked, yeah. You didn't know, did you? You may as well tell them that you didn't get wrecked.
I wrecked along with other devs. We tore them apart.
You did actually, yeah.
I walked in and wrote "Get Wrecked" on the whiteboard in front of all of them.
I remember that. That was
it was a good day.
That was near the end of the day as well. That was.
It was literally end of the day.
That really
seemed to be written.
Yeah, that finish off.
You're definitely basking in that.
Yeah, you will never forget it. That's
every time it comes up, I'm just like, remember that community day?
Brilliant. We've had a few games, haven't we, on the arena for a while, haven't we now?
I think you've beaten me a few times in the live game though.
Have I? Because I see your name coming up sometimes. You all know, yeah. I'm looking out
with
for
your Greek spears.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Speedy spears.
Germania.
I love.
With Germanicus.
Well, it's actually this is the thing, because
Germanic Bros.
Yeah, Germanic Bros, the tanks. But the eSport, not the eSport, the ESL we had at Cologne earlier this year. That's where I sort of, it really turned, for me, my perception of the game, because when we played it in that tournament-based situation we're in, it really brought out the the beauty of the game, that competitiveness to it, and you really got to feel that you're fighting against another player, and I don't know, you really captured it for me, and that's where my playstyle of playing as Germanicus came through as well. I think that's where I started to think, actually these guys would suit my playstyle a lot more than maybe others, and that's the thing about the game, you have to try and find it, don't you, as you go along, and it takes maybe a while to do that, but once you get your niche area, I think you can really start to push on with it. But esports, is that going to be a thing, do you think, ever could happen with this?
It's definitely a question for James.
Yeah, you're the man.
Question comes up. Probably didn't help, but we did an event at the ESO Studios, which is probably the most premier place for esports.
That's it, yeah.
But we needed a venue that could cope with 10v10, so and we stretched them to limits on that one. But
it's got its potential, you feel, I think.
Of course it does. Yeah. Any game when you're playing against other people and you've got to use teamwork and there's tension and victory and defeat, yes, any of those games can become esports. And can we do that? Damn right we could.
I think.
But there's loads of things that have to be in place. There's loads of maybe even features from outside that would have to be there to support that community. And it's one of those things that really has to come from community as well. If there's people playing, there's loads of people playing and want to play like more serious and competitive, then it's something that can happen. But if there's no one who's willing or wanting to go that far and play competitively, we can't force it on people.
You say it's the community.
It's a partnership. It's something that comes with the community we support. It doesn't happen the other way.
Yeah. And if it comes, we will support it, definitely, yeah.
We've got a lot of esports in our team.
That's it.
And everyone wants to have an esports game. Everyone. If you're making a competitive game in this day and age, everyone wants to be in esport. But there are a lot of games that force esports on their community, and it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work. And if it happens naturally, you can get better out of it.
That's why all the games you see today, which are big esports, have done it through just naturally growing and supporting that growth.
Yeah, exactly.
And there's very few, if any, instances of jump starting.
Awesome. Yeah, because it'd be such a new area for you guys as well with that, because obviously you've had a sort of war-based single player games and obviously the multiplayer aspect of them, but this is pure multiplayer, and if you had that as well, it'd be there is an undercurrent within the Total War multiplayer scene where I've done like flash tournaments and you've got clans like Agni and so forth, and those guys are like the hardcore Total War players, and like for me to be able to see these guys who are perfectly at home using 20 units and microing them the way they do to start exclusively playing Arena, well, at that point you can't help but feel quite happy. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
When I see how many of these clans have almost exclusively switched over to Arena now, I'm like, damn right.
I see when I'm online and get, oh Christ, here we go. When I'm playing against something,
I'll go the other route. You do your thing, I'll go there.
Yeah.
RTK is on the field. I'm going to go hide over here.
I played Rubicon last night, and I think you've really designed that massively different in a lot of ways, because I couldn't believe when I first started the starting locations, they're spread out now. You've got like two rows, haven't you? Like really spread out across the three channels you've got.
Yes.
And then what made you put the bases so close together? Because literally like that, aren't they?
Well, basically, I think we looked at the existing maps that we have, and then we looked at what's missing, what would change the gameplay a bit. And one of the key things that came out was instant action, right? Currently, it always takes some time to get the engagement, which is good for many maps to have that build up, But we didn't have a map where you just start walking and you see the enemy kind of thing.
1 minute, I was with Tier 9 Praetorian, 1 minute. There.
Yes.
It was instant. I got that.
And also one of the things is that with Rubicon that's very different, and that was done really on purpose, is that it's a very open map. It's something the fans have very often requested on the forums. I've seen it in chat. It's like, when will there be a proper battlefield map, an open one, right? And so we're like, well, let's do one.
Let's do it.
All right then.
You asked for it.
And what we found is that it actually is more difficult to play because you really have to watch your flanks, right? You don't have a cliff to protect you, or something. Now they could come from nearly anywhere, and that makes really interesting gameplay. That combined with proximity of the starting positions. I like the map. It's cool, but it's a skill map. I think you need to be as a team, you need to be really putting together.
I mean, I remember, so when I went down a few months ago and saw you designing it, it was looking very good at that point. You've done a lot of work into it. It seems to be, you say, quite flat and quite open. So yeah, and that's the thing. Every map does offer that a little bit different. There's something different to the player. So
yeah, we want to continue that.
Can't read that on.
It's two whammies in one, in a way. You've got grassy fields, of which God knows every multiplayer battle of Name a Total War have ended up playing on. It's a flat land, grassy fields, some description, and then a river crossing, which is another thing, which is
the Great Rubicon River,
forever played in the Total War community. So there you go, two things every amongst them.
Absolutely. And one last thing I wanted to sort of ask you was in terms of, you can't even probably say much, but where next then? You got lots of things to come out on the shore, but I'm talking about more like sort of factions or maybe different eras. Have you got anything?
So obviously the barbarians have just been introduced in their very minimal version. So we're going to expand the barbarians, obviously. So currently we have only tiers 1 to 3 of only 2 branches of that tree. There are two other branches that are going to come. One will be more of a hunter, archer, scouty type branch. And we also want to add chariots in, because chariots are cool.
Really?
Right? Yeah. But
first I heard about was today.
Oh right, okay. First guys.
It's in the dev blog.
Oh yeah, right, okay.
Read the dev blog.
Yeah, read the
But the thing with chariots is that for multiplayer, we feel like they need to work slightly differently from how they are in Rome 2. So in order to bring them in, we do need a bit of code work. We need balancing, testing. So that's why they're not in yet, and we're still working on them.
You need to be a bit more flexible in terms of how to get around the map and sort of maneuver.
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not involved with that part of the design, but I think it has something to do with reactivity, with how they interact with other units, both friendly and enemy, that sort of thing. And yes, we are looking into adding obviously more commanders for all factions, and we are looking into adding more factions.
We've got Grissom Getowitz obviously to cover.
Yeah, he's already waiting.
He's there, he's waiting in the wings.
Exactly.
He's got an axe, man.
I think he looks really cool. Yeah,
he does actually.
And we're looking at commanders that we think are cool. You know, not just the famous ones, but the interesting ones. And also, yes, other factions, also from other continents, probably, and possibly also other time periods. But we just need to make sure that they fit, you know? We don't want to go too crazy.
This is it.
We want to stay realistic and historical in a reasonable way.
Would you think, if you did have other time periods, would you allow them to be mixing in with other time periods again, or would you have them separate in terms of battles?
Well, that's a question that we haven't answered quite for ourselves yet. Again, we have multiple proposals on the table. We could completely separate them, or we could gradually, like through matchmaking, gradually link them together. But we're certainly not going to have ancient Greeks fighting Napoleonic soldiers in 3 years' time. That's not going to happen.
People ask that question what it would be like, but I don't think Arena would actually, you wouldn't like that, would you?
It needs to make sense, right? So, we'll see. And obviously as well, we get a lot of feedback from the community that, I don't know, they want the Egyptians or the Chinese or Vikings, Carthage, So there's a lot to look at.
Tier 10 elephants coming in.
Wow, who knows?
Wow,
yes. We would like to do elephants, but again, we need to do them right.
This is it.
It's not the easiest thing to put into game.
It's what people got to remember. You've got to balance it. You've got to make sure it's all. Anyway, thanks guys.
Thank you.
For having me.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Cheers, dude.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.